Here I am, back on camera, having had the most amazing few days. I don't really know where to begin. I've jotted down a few notes just to mention on here because I don't want this to run on too long, and it's a bit like showing somebody your holiday photos, and it's really rather dull just to keep looking at one photo after another, or maybe even hearing one story after another. I don't know, but people can always comment or get in touch with me if they do want to know more, and I'll probably get back to the UK and maybe add stuff as well after that, but I'll try and keep this sort of brief. I've still got a couple more days here in Satipo before I do my last epic coach trip back to Lima. It'll be a 12-hour trip, and as I'm coming to the end of my travels and know exactly what my budget is, I have spoilt myself and paid double the price on the bus to go on with a different company for a bit more comfort. I'll be honest about it. 12 hours is a long time. I got here without the air conditioning and with the seat that was broken and etc. But no, I'm going to do it differently on the way back. Anyway, that's aside. My journey that I went on, thanks to two wonderful people, a lady called Magna that I found online through Airbnb, is no longer doing Airbnb for the minute. Simply because she hasn't had anybody ask to stay at her cabin in 4 years. So I didn't think there was anywhere in the world that an Airbnb would have that happen. But I kind of understand it now, because it is not the easiest of journeys to make because of the transport. And also I found my lack of Spanish really held me back to get information, etc. But that's my downfall, my fault, my responsibility. I have relied heavily on Google Translate, but do you know what? As soon as you leave here, this town, no internet, no broadband. Having said that, there was Starlink on the boat. For the 5-hour boat journey, you could spend £1 to have Starlink Wi-Fi. So I did as much as I could while I was on the boat. So that it is incredible, isn't it, what technology can do? So I took the boat. No, let me tell you, I took a combi bus, which I've posted a few photos of that. It was incredible. It cost all of £3. It was 2.5 hours. The road was interesting to take me to this little village called San Romolino. And this was where Magna had her cabin that I stayed in for free for several nights. I call it my fixer because a wonderful gentleman called Dante, Senor Valverde, I'm going to say his age, and I don't care if he doesn't want me to. I'm going to, because he's an incredible man. He's far fitter than I am, and he's 5 years older than me, 72 years old, and a wonderful man. When I got to Magna's place, because Magna actually lives in America, he showed me how everything worked, locks, etc., and arranged everything for me for my trip to go down the river or up the river. This 5-hour trip to the place called Betania, and this was where I wanted to go to because I'd found it on the internet. And the Betania Piscinas are the pools, swimming pools, natural, that I wanted to go and experience. Well, I got there to Betania on the boat, and the boat cost me £10. And packed, and honestly at times quite frightening. I thought we were going to tip over. Anyway, that was me, and no knowledge of how it should be. But you do have to hop on and off the end of the boat on a gangplank sometimes, or you just have to jump onto the muddy bank. So, agility is name of the game, which I ain't great at now, I have to say. I did my best. Anyway, so I took the boat to Betania, which is Betania is just a lovely village. The Ashaninka are the people who live there, and because all along the river we kept stopping at little places to drop off goods or pick up people, etc., etc. And this is the only access to these places. The only access. There's no roads. So it is a lifeline. And when I got there, I got onto a little tuk-tuk, and he knew where I was going to go. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I can't speak. I haven't got internet. I really had lost my right hand on that. Anyway, he took me to meet this lovely man. I never said his name right since I met him, so I just called him Lionel. Very ignorant of me, but actually we got the correct spelling of it at the end of the day, and it was I still can't say it. So that's very disrespectful to him, but I'll practice that one. And he was my guide, and he showed me where I was going to stay. I stayed in this little hut on stilts, hugely hot, outside toilet, outside shower, of course. Mosquito net, thank goodness, but I was still eaten alive. As soon as I put the DEET spray on, and I'm not a lover of DEET, I was bitten 30 seconds later, and my arms were absolutely eaten alive. But I kept on long trousers and tried to cover up as much as possible, but the heat was just incredible. So I went, I had a night's sleep, tried to have a night's sleep. I was a bit A, a bit hot, but B, I was a bit worried about the bugs. And I had found at Magna's place this incredible moth that was inside the toilet cubicle, which frightened me to death. I photographed that and put it on one of my shots. I just felt nervous about bugs. I was being really, first world problems, ignorant. So I didn't sleep that well. Anyway, the guide came and picked me up at 6:30 in the morning. He had said 7, but I was ready by 6:30 because I wasn't really sure what was going on. Because, of course, it's too hot to walk and go hiking. I went on the hike with him. He was so knowledgeable, showing me medicines and bugs and lizards and monkeys and butterflies and birds that you just would dream about. And it was a good old walk. I saw the sign, it said 1.3k to the pools, and I thought, oh, that's not too bad. I don't know who measured it. I think it was further, because by the time I got back, my petty counter actually told me that I'd done the equivalent to nearly 5 miles in the day. But there we go, and he took me, and we eventually got to the pools. I took lots of photographs. We got to the waterfalls. I took lots of photographs. The smells, the sounds, it makes me emotional now, thinking back. It was great. They want people to visit. They need money. They have nothing, these people who live there. They are putting things together. They get locals to visit. As far as I can see, it's local people visiting. But they want tourism. Anyone who wants an adventure, who feels fit and able enough to do this, and I do stress that, it's not for people at all infirm, because there are some challenges with the hike. He gave me a stick eventually, which I think he could see I was beginning to flag a bit, and he was just great and so patient. But please look at the area, look at what it involves, and do your research. And any help or assistance I can give anybody to come and visit this area and bring them what they need, because they want to show people, and there's more to see. I will come back another time to see what else there is, and I really, really look forward to it. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to learn some Spanish in between time, because I thought I was pretty okay with my vocabulary with Portuguese, but it was rubbish. It didn't help me at all. So I just wanted to put this onto camera while it's sort of fresh in my mind. There's so much more I could tell you, but I'm going to leave it there. And all I can say is, fantastic. But so was my shower when I got back to also fantastic was my shower when I got back to the hotel. I just felt so grubby, but because the dust and the heat just makes you feel that way. I mean, I did shower there, but anyway, on that note, we shan't dwell, and enjoy looking for my photos. I'll be posting more and more videos as well. Bye for now.